Hi, my name is Megan Kraus, and this is my e-portfolio for my non-endorsement for building leadership. First, I want to talk about the goals, and I have quite a few goals that I have set for myself for now, 5 years in the future, and then also 10 years in the future. And I'm just really excited, especially to get this degree, because it definitely opens up possibilities for my future and my future in education. I also have a minor in reading specialist, and I definitely, with both of these master's degrees, I definitely have a wide range of things I can do for my future and for these personal and professional goals that I have set for myself. And I'm excited to be able to reach all of my goals and just continue to be a lifelong learner and continue to help students and other professionals in the education field be lifelong learners as well. Um, I also have a leadership philosophy, and just as that, as a building leader, my philosophy would be to provide the leadership and the leadership opportunities for students and staff as we work together throughout the process of education. Um, I want my staff to look at me as an equal, as an authority, but also as an equal, someone that they can come to when they need help and support. And same with my students and the families that I will be working with now and in the future. Whatever direction my future decides to take. I just like to work with families and students, and especially those in the lower poverty, like I am now. I just definitely can see me continue to be working in this field, in this direction, and um, here's to the future and see what it holds. Um, I just would like to work in order to maintain this high expectation of learning. I would make sure my teachers have the resources and tools available to help them and help their students be able to be as successful as possible. I also want to empower my teachers. I want them to help them to continue to be lifelong learners as well by attending conferences or being able to help them with trainings, or definitely help provide them and build their knowledge of their specific areas. I also want to be able to help my students and teachers as well, to help with their physical needs, their emotional needs, and their social emotional needs, just because I know we have to have all of those things to have a successful student and to have a successful school. We definitely have to have those all together. I also want to be able to hold my teachers to high expectations and know that what I expect of them and that I will be pushing them, but that it's a good push, not one that they should regret. But I am excited to become a future building leader and see all the differences and different lives that I can impact being in that position. All of these courses that I have taken for my non-degree endorsement, I have thoroughly enjoyed, and I feel like they have all been a great opportunity for me and a great, give me lots of field experience and suggestions and helpful tips and ideas for not only for the future, but for my current job as well. Um, I am excited to keep building on my resume, and I have definitely gained lots of skills being a special education teacher, but also going through and getting my master's in reading specialist, but also as a master's in building principal as well. So I am excited to continue to build this and my skills and my experiences and everything else through this new degree. This is my activity form and all of the different activities I was able to complete during this, during my portfolio and putting it together. And I've just had a lot of fun being able to do all these different activities that I normally wouldn't be able to in a normal school year. So here are my 3 different administration verifications from Mrs. Fisher, who is my current principal at the elementary level, Rick Kraus, who is the HR and the assistant superintendent currently of the USC 308, and then I was not able to get a hold of a secondary principal in 308, so I was able to reach out to a neighboring district, and Mr. Elligood was able to help me get my secondary activities completed in that. So that was very kind and helpful of him. Next is my annotated bibliography. This definitely took some time, but I think it was well worth my time. Like I said, and this is just, it was well worth my time, and it was a great experience to be able to go through and look at each of these different questions and all of these different bibliographies that I was able to look at and gather information from and all of that. I definitely learned a lot from going through all of these different and looking at all these different questions and be able to look at it in a different eye set versus just a special ed teacher or general education teacher, to look at it from the eyes of a building principal was really interesting to me. So, next is the district activities that I was able to do. I was able to do 5 different district activities. I first chose the ethics and professional norms standard, and I was able to help out in the ad center or our district building by helping figure out some different norms and different things that the superintendent, assistant superintendent, but as well as everybody else who works in that building should be able to follow. I was able to advocate for equitable access to educational resources. So I was able to sit down with Mr. Kraus and discuss different ways that different programs that we could use, or different programs that he has heard that different teachers in the district have thoroughly enjoyed, or that they have like reached out to him that they would like to try. So I thought that was pretty interesting as well. I was also able to go through and look at all the different technologies that we have available in USD 308, and just how they are able to help our children learn, but also our students learn as well as our staff, and our different ways that it's able to, especially this year during COVID, all the different technologies and the new technologies that we were able to incorporate. I was also able to advocate for our school and community needs. I know that the elementary school that I currently work in has quite a few supporters of the community, but I did not realize how much the community was actually involved in USD 308. And so being able to sit down with Rick, he was able to tell me like how the Hutch PD and the Hutch Fire Department, how they are great advocates for USD 308, but also how like some of the banks and some of the churches in our community as well, how they are able to support us as a district. So those are very cool to me. And then we were also able to look at how to build professional capacity in our district, and how I was able to observe in quite a few different classrooms. Because of COVID, I was not able to go really into the secondary or any other elementary, but definitely was able to do a lot of these observations at the current building I work in. So that was pretty neat to see and be able to experience that as well. So next I will move on to secondary. I thought the secondary was very intriguing to me, just because I haven't been able to really do much in the secondary because I've chose elementary as my profession. I got to talk to Mr. Elliott about his mission and his vision statements at his school, and be able to talk to different staff at his building and how they came up with their mission and vision statements. He also explained to me how as a school leader was able to model professional norms, and he walks the talk. He tried to lead by example, and I thought this was great information for me to take with me in my future. We also talked about ethics and professional norms. We also talked about integrity and inclusiveness and culture responsive, and the differentiating materials, instructions, and strategies that they use at the secondary level in his building. We also talked about learning and instruction, and how they use iReady to be able to place their different kids into different core subjects and with specific teachers, and how they track their data. We also talked about the community and external leadership. Like I said, community in USD 308 was great, but being able to see it in USD 313 was also great, and just seeing a big community versus a small community, and how the differences between those. But this parent night was great, especially being able to see it over Zoom. Next we talked about the laws, and he thought that being going towards special education law was the best way to talk about it, but I really like how he says they have to hold each other accountable no matter what kind of laws you're using. So that was neat. We also talked about building professional capacity and how they also collaborate here for groups in different departments. So the department brings the wants, needs, and difficulties into these specific groups and how they support each other. So that was all very interesting to me to be able to see it as in the secondary eyes. Next is the elementary, which is the building I currently work in, and so we talked about how to support the improvement process and how to change tier time in our building. I was also able to do ethics and professional norms and how to make ethical decisions and legal decisions for our students. Not only, I looked at the ones who were specifically on special education IEPs, so that was interesting. I also really liked this idea of a principal's advisory council and how to form one. And these sixth graders were amazing in trying to help me with this and talking through different things with me. So I really enjoyed that activity as well. Then we did learning and instruction, and I really liked being able to present to the different teachers in the building and be able to collaborate with them and talk about different ways to do learning and instruction and how to do different adaptations for their students. Um, Next was learning and instruction, and this was neat as well to be able to take these kindergartners and be able to test them and try different activities and things with them in small groups and see how their different scores went up and down. So I thought that was neat as well. Then I also got to help with a community group in Hutchinson here called Rise Up Reno and be able to help with this food bank and help them collaborate and figure out how to get it into the elementary school. So that was a great way and a fun way to meet different people from our community. Then I was able to sit down and work with our elementary principal, Darla Fisher, and see how much planning and time and effort goes into making a master schedule for just an elementary building. I know secondary would definitely be a lot more tricky because of the different classes and how many different professionals they have in their building. And then I would also be able to look at this brand new program that we have to our district and see how it will, how I could advocate this program to continue to use it in the years to come. So that was fun as well. My fourth graders really enjoyed this project and being able to use this new curriculum. I also got to look at how to build professional capacity and how to use redesign and how we can change these different things and how impactful I believe redesign will be to us as a state. I also got to look at swivel training, and I thought that was really interesting, especially given the pandemic that we are currently all facing. And I think not only will it be great for being in the pandemic, but in the years to come as well. So there you have it. That is my e-portfolio, and I am excited to take all of these things I have learned this year and all these different activities and be able to apply them in my future. So thank you.